combined 11, right? But the rules are we can't have Smith and Root. It's kind of Smith or Root in their position, okay? So it's England, Australia. I want you combined 11 and then just a brief reason why you would go for that. So we're going to start with Usman Khawaja or Zach Crawley. Zach Crawley.
I'd go with Zach Crawley.
Okay, interesting.
Which is probably left field to everybody else thinking that, because Khawaja's like the safe pair of hands. He's the one that I think if you look at going Khawaja against Duckett, it would have been a harder contest. But I think Zach's been in the team. He's took some criticism, and this is his moment.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to make or break the selection. Some would say stubbornness. Some would say they're trying to see where Zach's ceiling level is. And this is it. This is the Ashes. This is the one that they believe that he can deliver on. So I hope it's Crawley, and I think his game's well suited to Australia. And if Zach Crawley goes and has the summer that we all expect him, hopefully we expect him, or winter we expect him to, then I'll go Zach Crawley over Khawaja. And another thing with that is you throw in the bowlers. I think Zach Crawley will look to put pressure on the Australian bowlers, where Khawaja will be. He's 40 now.
Fair.
And if England have got 4 bowlers in excess of 90 mile an hour, that could be a bit more of a challenge. We've seen what Mark Wood did to him a couple of years ago at Edney, so I am hoping that's going to be the case. I'll go with Zach.
Okay, that's really interesting. I was expecting Khawaja to be fair, but I'm interested in that. All right, Marnus Labuschagne or Ben Duckett?
Well, that's if Marnus plays.
Yeah.
It looks like he is now because he's got a couple of hundreds. I think Ben Duckett, again, I'd go with Duckett because I think he's probably one of the best opening batters in world cricket at this moment in time.
I can't argue with that.
So, as much as I think Marnus will bat number 3 for Australia, I think I'd rather have Ben Duckett at the top of the order because I think he's a wonderful, wonderful player.
Yeah. Number 3 was a bit hard, but we've gone for in the end the choice between Cameron Green or Ollie Pope.
I think Cameron Green will probably bat number 6, but I think Cameron Green will be the one who, from Australia's point of view, if they win the Ashes, I think a lot of it will come down to his performance, both bat and ball. Mm-hmm. So I think probably Cameron Green. I mean, I'm probably expecting Bethel to play at number 3.
Yeah.
But if Cummins is out, which possibly he could miss a couple of test matches, Cameron Green could be huge with both bat and ball. So I think Cameron Green needs to have a good series, and I think he's a wonderful, wonderful player.
Yeah, that's fair. This one's probably the hardest one. Steve Smith or Joe Root?
I think you'd normally go with home advantage.
Yeah.
When you're talking about great players, but the legacy that Joe Root's about to have and finish off would be the hundreds in Australia. And I fully expect Joe Root to go and get 2, if not 300s in that 5 test match series. So if he does, I'll always back Joe Root. I back Joe Root against anybody in the world. I think he's the best player that's ever, or one of the best players that's ever played the game. Definitely the best player that's ever played the game for England. So I'll always go with Joe Root. But Steve Smith in his own back garden is a good proposition to go against. But no, for me, I'd always back Root. He gets that monkey off his back. He gets them 2 centuries. He comes back, gets closer to Sachin Tendulkar. In 18 months' time, he breaks his record.
There you go. That's the predictions I want to hear. Travis Head or Harry Brook?
That's the harder one. I think that's harder than Root against Smith.
Yeah.
Because I think that the difference between them two could be make or break in the series.
Yeah.
The one that scores the most runs possibly is the one that's going to be on the winning side. I'm going to contradict myself because I still think England got a chance to win, but I'll go with Travis Head.
You go for Travis Head
because of home advantage in that call. I'd go with home advantage, even though I think Brook will have a good series. England have to have a look. Be mindful of the fact that they're bigger boundaries. England have played some brilliant cricket recently, but have also played some kamikaze cricket recently. And you look at the Oval in the last Test match. Australia might run up and bowl bounces at Harry Brook on massive outfields and say, well, take us on if you want, because that's what your ego does. Yeah. These are things that Harry probably has to the challenges when he goes over there. So, but I think Travis Head is in such good form. I'd just punt for Head over Brook.
That is fair. Bull Webster or Ben Stokes?
Not even
no, I know, yeah.
One, I don't think Webster's going to play, and 2, Ben Stokes is, it's not even a contest. I'm not even gonna.
No,
I've said far too many nice things
fine.
about Ben Stokes recently. That, I mean, what a character, what a person, what an individual when it comes to his relationship with his teammates, his ability to understand situations,
100%.
and to fight for the cause is possibly what's put his body in a position of, nearly broken, once every 18 months, if not over the course of his career.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, if Ben Stokes has a good winter, then England have got a great chance of winning. And as long as Ben Stokes plays 5 Test matches, England have got a great chance of winning. So I'd back Ben Stokes against anybody.
That's absolutely fair. Alex Carey or Jamie Smith?
I go with Jamie Smith.
Yeah.
I think he's fantastic. I really do. From the minute I first saw Jamie Smith, I thought, this kid's an England cricketer. His temperament was always going to be the challenge when he got into the England game, and I think he's delivered on that, tenfold. And I think there'll be a lot of people, hopefully in the next 18 months, 2 years and beyond, that you'll see Jamie Smith elevate himself up the order because of how good he is as a batter. So I think Jamie Smith is a better wicketkeeper batter than Alex Carey.
Yep. And we're on to the bowlers now. Pat Cummins or Gus Atkinson?
I mean, Pat Cummins, for me, has been one of the top 5 cricketers in the last 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
You talk about the Fab Four with a bat. Kagisa Rabada, Jasprit Bumrah, Pat Cummins for me with a ball. I think them 3 stand. I think Archer's a wonderfully talented cricketer, but I think the level of consistency and the volume of cricket played over the last few years, I'm not shy to say it. Pat Cummins is one of my favourite cricketers. I think he is a brilliant cricketer, and it would be a big loss if he's not playing in that first 1, 2, 3 Test matches.
Yeah. Mitchell Starc or Jofra Archer?
I mean, you have to look at Australia's bowling attack. It's an unbelievable bowling attack. Archer on his day, magic moments of brilliance. But Starc's the way he's started the Ashes in the last few years, each time, and especially over there when he got Rory Burns out. Is it one Ashes series too much for this bowling attack with the age that they're at, especially if Cummins doesn't play because he's the youngest?
Definitely says that's the last hurrah.
But
anyway.
I'll just pump for Jofra, because if you're going on bowling ability alone, I think Archer, if you go on 5 Test match series, you might have to punt for Starc, because I can see Starc playing in 4, if not all 5.
Yeah. Nathan Lyon or Shoaib Bashir?
I'm not even gonna have that as the contest. It's not. It's not fair. It really isn't fair. There's a huge amount of pressure on Shoaib. It's not fair on him to even put him in the same conversation as. No,
Lyon is another level.
Lyon's the one you pick, and it's not fair to have a comparison, because Shoaib's in his, again, a bit like Zach. Shoaib's in his infancy of his career, and the ceiling level a bit like Zach. Zach's not the infancy of his career, but Shoaib's learning on the job, and he's going to have to get to that point where Nathan Lyon is from a level of consistency. But there's no question there's only one contest there, and that's Nathan Lyon.
And then finally we've got Josh Hazlewood or Mark Wood.
Again, a bit like the Mitchell Starc one. You have to say Hazlewood, because over 5 Test matches, Hazlewood would be the one that will deliver more moments of brilliance. You go with Mark Wood, same as Jofra Archer. The challenge for that would be to try and keep Archer and Wood fit, and in a combination where you go over 5 Test matches, as opposed to Australia looking at how do we get Hazlewood through 5 Test matches, how do we get Starc through 5 Test matches. I think if you're going on individual basis, it would be Mark Wood, but I think if you're going on a series base, you would say Hazlewood. So I'd have to, unfortunately for Mark from Ashington, but I think you'd probably go with Hazlewood on them surfaces.
Yeah.
As well.
So I mean, looking at that, I feel like it was almost kind of like England's batting v Australia's bowling.
Always going to be the case. It's always going to be the case. I think there's runs in both sides, and the glaring difference between these two teams at this moment in time, on paper, before the first Test match, is Australia have a bowling attack who have produced, and we know what they're going to do, and we know how they're going to perform. The exciting part for me is we've got a bowling attack that potentially could blow Australia's batting unit open, but it's potential. We haven't seen it, and that's what excites me about this Ashes, that if England play to their maximum ability and they get a huge amount of luck, I think England stand a chance.
Yeah.
If they get injuries to keep players like an Archer or a Wood or a Stokes, then it becomes doubly harder. But it is, for me at this moment in time, against England's batters against Australia's bowlers.